Hello, everybody. I wanted to go live again right now because the other night, yesterday, I thought somebody was knocking on the door. I had to go check it out. But also, too, because people are reaching out about everything happening in the world, the chaos. And I think all of us could use a little heart-to-heart assistance and communication together, because we all have so much more in common than we do apart. But until we flip that scale of perceptual knowing, we're going to continue to feed the ignorance of our own being. We don't have to be that way. We can literally become conscious of our own nature within, our own consciousness, and know what we are. And then who we are gets influenced by that. But we keep getting swept up in all of the artificial chaos, you could say. Because it seems like there's two things going on. Really, it's not. But you've got nature, which is the predominant reality. And then you've got humans. And there's cities that look like computer boards and all of the artificial chaos that they create, but that most people have been so indoctrinated into that they just think it's reality, think it's normal. Meanwhile, they're living in a state of fear, and it's stressing them out, and they know that there's something else going on, but they just feel so stuck, imprisoned into these little boxes that we've been taught are who we are, of what society wants us to be. So, because this is a spontaneous meditation, you can just go back and do it. I'm going to do it right now anyway, but the replay will be up here, and it will be available, and it'll be timeless, because there is no time anyway, as many of us know. So let's get comfortable. Find somewhere to sit or lay down. Somewhere where you can feel comfortable. With a surface that has your body. So you're somewhere that something is supporting you. A bed, chair. And for the next little while that we spend together, or that you spend, if it's the replay after this, just acknowledge that you feel safe, and in that state of relaxation, allow yourself to kind of not be so attached to who you think you are. We are so much more than our bodies. But we get stuck in them. So let yourself be at peace, somewhere safe where you can transition your awareness from who you think you are into what you actually are, which is this invisible superintelligence. That is all of us. It is in all of us. And it's been trying to get our attention for who knows how long. And now we're ready to start to give our attention to what allows us to have attention in the first place. And that is that invisible superintelligence that is operating all the systems of our bodies, whether we are conscious of it or not. It is literally orchestrating our entire life in this world. Our entire sense of self, of who we think we are, even if we feel stuck. That superintelligence in us is orchestrating all of that. And the more that we allow ourselves to recognize that we are so much more than what society or civilization expects us to be. When we can start to bring back all of the emotional and mental energy that we keep projecting out into a world that was never made to be sustainable as far as humans go. And so there's cities, looks like computer microboards, all their systems, everything about it is so small compared to the patterns of nature that are infinite. And at the same time, they are infinitesimal, meaning that no matter how small you go, it keeps getting smaller. Same thing, the bigger you get, it keeps getting bigger. And that's the paradox of what we've been born into. And we don't need to know all the answers to all of that. Why focus on what might be when what truly is, it's already happening to us? People want to focus on all the stories to come and all the things of the past, yet this miracle of superintelligence is here. It's allowing us to be here. And it wants us to know ourselves as we have the potential to be. And it will guide us through this broken world where the virtues of human beings are so low that it's hard to even get out of. And we can get out of it. We can literally be totally out of it right now if we had faith in this superintelligence that we are. So somewhere in the middle of who you think you are, your personal identity, and what you are, this invisible, infinite, super intelligence that's energy based. It's plasma based. And it's not just existing for no reason. It knows what it's doing. It knows how to do what it's doing. And the more we begin to open up and accept that this isn't something separate from us, it is entirely an inside phenomena, meaning all of this intelligence in your body, that's not all there is to it. It gets way deeper in us, in our awareness of us. It gets way deeper, and at the same time, it allows you to become stronger. Because it's your natural birthright. All of ours. We just forgot for a moment. So your body's relaxed. The weight of your body is supported. Notice your breathing. Slower but deeper breaths. And so we have families and loved ones and people that we know want to be in a healthy world. And of course, when they're in places of high chaos, of course we're going to get worried. Of course it can throw us off balance. But the amazing thing is, in getting knocked off balance, more times than not, that's where the medicine is. Because you know that you can only control so much. And all the things happening out there, yeah, we can have an effect on it. But to what degree are we already having an effect in deepening this relationship with the superintelligence that we are? Because when we focus on what is really happening, it's really, really happening, and none of these words are doing it any justice, because it's beyond language. It's beyond normal comprehension. And yet, ironically, it is normal. this super intelligence is normal. So just let yourself be calm for a few moments. And if you have loved ones that you care about who are in areas where there's suffering and potential chaos, or anybody that you love that you're not with, in this silence, connect with them and love them to the degree that you're able to love yourself. And together as a group, we amplify that power together. You're just gently breathing while you're feeling love for your loved ones. And together we are all empowering that for each other and for those we love. And before we finish this, the takeaway in it for you is what was said earlier. Focus on what you know more than the maybes, right? Because when we get too caught up in the past or the future, we're ignoring the most important yes there ever could be, and that is this life force and us as individuals knowing ourselves as it. And when you prioritize this relationship that there's no getting out of, by the way, but that's a beautiful thing. But when you deepen your relationship to it, so many of the things that we worry about, they very often have a way of resolving, even if it's at the last possible moment. And remind yourself, there is absolutely super intelligence in you, and it is you. The more that you embrace that, the more it recognizes your efforts because it is you and you are it. And in your efforts, our efforts, the more we do this, the more that we bridge the conscious to the non-conscious. And in that bridge, all things start to make sense. And they enhance our senses themselves so we can sense way deeper. We can feel, we can think, we can experience, we can know as deep as anybody could ever want to go, because we are that. And lastly, let's keep saying prayers and sending love to our family. And I would say more important is to feel them as already being safe. That's the one thing for me that has, no matter what, when you feel like it is done, even if it isn't, the more you do that, the more faith you have in the process of life. Thank you, everybody. Be at peace, and we'll see each other soon.